Come on. I got you.
Leon, it's...
Ada! Thought she was dead.
I'm getting a little bit of deja vu right here. Technically, we've seen this part already. This was the part that was in the
Leon, do you hear
prologue,
me? I'm all right.
only it plays out a little bit differently.
Things are about to get worse.
And by that I mean, we don't have to carry Helena down this hallway, because that would be boring in co-op. I'd say it's a little more condensed version of the part from the prologue, which is good because, you know, it's not the exact same thing. You go through the same places, same things happen, but it is overall a little bit different. And now we are here, where this played out in a cutscene last time, where the zombie came and he didn't fall down last time. What an idiot, stupid zombie. I don't think this guy was here last time. Dumbass BSAA zombies. And here is another serpent emblem. That's the second one in this level. That herb is still in there. We should probably just keep moving. We don't really need an herb right now. This part we've seen it filled up with a whole bunch of zombies last time. And the same thing is going to happen here. Yeah, maybe it would have been better if this all played out in a cutscene. Like everything from Leon and Helena getting blown up on that car to maybe the part after Leon crashes the helicopter. Because, you know, we've seen it, we've done it. We don't need to see it or do it again. Because if you really want, you can go back and replay the prologue. I don't know. It just seems like unnecessary padding. And yeah, we're gonna see Leon crash yet another vehicle. Let's see, what does he crash in this game? He crashes cop car, airplane, helicopter, and possibly more. He was on a train that crashed.
Hunnigan, can we make it to the tower this way?
Yes, just keep moving in that direction.
Once again, the moral of Leon's story is never let him drive or pilot anything. Revoke his driver's license, and never let him on the roads or in the air ever again. See, one of the characteristics of Chris, which they actually bring back in this game, because we saw a cutscene last time of Chris flying in a fighter jet. He actually used to be a pilot, which they reference in a few of the other games, specifically, I want to say Code Veronica. I was really surprised to see them bring that back, and, you know, Chris is, you know, that was one of his specialties at one point, was being able to fly, you know, fly planes and stuff, and then Leon's just faffing around, crashing cars and airplanes. Since we've already seen all this, I guess I'll talk about other stuff. Like Simmons, I don't really like... Well, I like Simmons as a character, but I don't really like him as a villain. We get a little more depth into his story and what he's more about in Ada's campaign. But as for Leon, he's just kind of, I'm the evil government guy who wants to take over the world and cement America as best country ever. And it's just kind of like, oh well, whatever, zombies. There was one trailer where Simmons was only shown from the neck down, and then from the back, and the way that it was lit kind of made it look like he could have been Wesker, And myself and a lot of other people were like, "Oh my god, did you see Wesker in the trailer?" But then I played the game and I was like, "Oh, it was Simmons." Just to put this out there, Wesker is not in this game. I was very disappointed by that. I was hoping that there'd be some sort of like maybe cutscene in Jake's story where it's like, oh, Wesker cradling Jake as a baby, like, rockabye Jake in Wesker's arms. One day I'm gonna take over the world and you'll be gone. Although I do get my Wesker fill from DC Douglas, who is the best Wesker ever. Because he always posts really great videos. If you've never seen the 12 days of Resident Evil Christmas that he did, that's a really great video where it's just Wesker in the volcano singing about things from Resident Evil. It's great. I'm just going to talk about DC Douglas for the rest of this video. I've talked to him on Twitter a few times, Twitter and Facebook. He's a pretty cool guy, interacts with the fans a lot. I like that because I can say I've talked to Wesker, my favorite character ever. So, let's see, DC Douglas Appreciation. He's going to be in a movie called Apocalypse Kiss, where he's pretty much playing Wesker. He looks like him in that movie. He, has the slick back, blonde hair. I think he does the voice. Steve Bloom's also in that movie, so that's cool. So check that out. That's going to be cool. Let's see, other DC Douglas things I can talk about. Well, we're pretty much catching up to the story here. I guess technically Leon's whole thing is a flashback. If you count the prologue as, like, where the story begins, then technically everything from this point, and past this, or, before this point, it was all a flashback, I guess.
Yeah.
Once we exit this room, we're actually gonna finally catch up with the story. And see just who Leon was talking to when he said, back for more, huh?
You got it. Something doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this before. Well, there's nothing else we can do. All we can do is just jump right down, so... here we go.
Back for more.
I know what you did. Dino! You disobeyed me. You took Wesker's son away!
So this is my favorite boss in the game because of how hilariously ridiculous it is. I love everything about what's about to happen.
Use that bastard's blood to make the virus stronger.
Hope you got friends on the other side. 'Cause no one's gonna miss you here.
Unfortunately, they don't show his transformation in the cutscene, but it makes it even better when it happens in the gameplay. So I ran up to him. I don't know why I'm doing this. Back away, because he's a fucking T-Rex.
Oh boy.
Oh, this is so gloriously hilarious. Simmons is a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex. I think there might be two official names for this. It's either just like T-Rex Simmons, or I think he's referred to as the Theropod. At least that's what the Resident Evil wiki says. That's what it refers to him as, theropod. But I'm just gonna call him T-Rex Simmons. This is hilarious. I love everything about this. So you just gotta blow him the shit up sometimes, and then run up to him and melee him. We did this to him on the train too. But you do this and then you beat the crap out of him. This is the best way to take care of Simmons. In my opinion, anyway. And I can only think of like one or two other bosses that I like more than this. Actually, you know what? No, the final boss of another character's story. Actually, all the final bosses in this game are really good. Which is, you know, weird for me to say. I can't remember if Ada has one, though. But Leon's final boss is really great. This is really fun. Chris's final boss is really cool and different. And Jake's is like really just awesome. But best thing to do, just shoot Simmons with a lot of firepower. And then we're going to get something that's very reminiscent of Resident Evil 5. This is somewhat like the Nadesu fight from Resident Evil 5 when, you know, Chris and Sheva are on the turrets on the truck and you have to shoot it. It also reminds me of Jurassic Park, only there weren't machine guns in that. Must go faster. I guess in this instance, Leon would be Jeff Goldblum. You know, I'm okay with that.
Here he comes. Get ready.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this boss. This is just great. Obviously, the giant eyeball is his weak point, as if you couldn't tell. This is a Resident Evil game. If an enemy has a giant eyeball, that's probably going to be their weak point. That is scripted. You can't really do anything to stop that. So don't think you're doing something wrong. It looks like a death animation where it's like, oh, he flips you over and you blow up. But no, that's actually like supposed to happen. And I suppose the nameless soldier just died.
We can take him.
I'd like to think that this is maybe a reference to the Dino Crisis games, which is pretty much just Resident Evil with dinosaurs if you've never played them. And they're also made by Capcom. If you've never played them, I suggest playing them. They're pretty cool. I love dinosaurs. There should be more dinosaur video games. There are a lot of explosives around that you can use in your favor, so explosives seem to work the best on him. If you can blow up the trucks and blow up explosive barrels, that's most usually the best thing you can do against T-Rex Simmons. If you have any grenades, those might be pretty good. Actually, I don't know if Leon can get grenades. I think that's specifically for, like, Chris and Jake. I think this is also the longest that a boss battle's gone on so far for Leon. Hey, I don't mind. This can go for the rest of the level for all I care. Simmons does have other phases, but this is by far the best. Just because it's a giant T-Rex. Now, you'd think that that's like an instant kill, but it's actually not, which I'm very glad for. It is fairly forgiving, this fight. I can't think of any times when I've actually like gotten one hit killed by him. So I don't really think that's a thing that can happen. Or you just have to be really bad. I'm fairly good at this, so. I love Helena just shooting him while he's down like that. Again, the bosses in this game don't work like normal bosses. Like, I don't think they ever die based on like health. I think it's mostly scripted. After a certain amount of time, something will happen and intervene during this fight. That'll kind of end it. I timed that pretty well, actually. That happened right as I said it. Chris is a pretty reliable guy. I don't know why he said that Ada died. It's a little strange. Maybe we'll know more when we get to Chris's campaign. Which, I've said this before, but I'm not doing the campaigns right after another. Otherwise, this series would literally just go on forever. Because this is actually a fairly lengthy game.
What's wrong?
Oh, I don't know, I just fought a T-Rex.
It's nothing. Let's go.